another episode of The Roundup. Last week was the beginning of Season 2 in North America, and we had plenty of familiar faces returning to vie for the crown. Speaking of crowns, STMN is back to defend theirs after a hard-earned victory in Seattle at PAX West. We actually had a chance to sit down with Bobby and chat about how that win affected their team, so let's check it out.
Yeah, I really felt that we kind of redeemed ourselves from the earlier portion of the year, where we felt we weren't competing and playing to the standards that we normally do, and that was probably the biggest tournament up to the year for North America, at least up to date. So being able to win it and winning the big one, it meant a lot. That kind of kicked off a crazy win streak for us. So there's other Brawl Stars events that goes on. We won one of the other kind of main leagues, and then the last week or so, we were in the 4th position in North America, which is something we've never even been close to before. As I said, we've been having not the greatest year, and we managed to clutch up and move into the 3rd spot in the last monthly final. So we made it to Worlds, which is a really big deal because we kind of expect that. It's not something that we try and achieve. It's like we expect to go. Let's see what we can do there. So the ESL win definitely kind of started the momentum. We won that monthly final, won the queso, won the ESL, and then we went to Colombia versus Tribe and played a show match there, and we won that as well. So we've been on a pretty crazy win streak that started off with ESL. Oh yeah, I mean, we have the best fans. Definitely in North America, if not North America, the world. The most loyal, the most outspoken. They follow us everywhere we go. Doesn't matter if they know the name of the broadcast, if it's ESL, if it's something random, they'll always be there, and there'll be a lot of them. So just thank you guys for sticking with us, and we're gonna continue to try and show up for you guys.
Well, those were some strong words coming from the reigning North American champion. Let's see how they fared in the first week of this new season. It looks like they faced off against Obey Alliance in the Cup 1 semifinals. Wait a second. Obey Alliance? Let's take that mask off and get to the bottom of this mystery once and for all. Patchy, Toast, Fade, and Chino. That's right. The team who played as Chazbek Gaming last season has a new org, Obey Alliance. And they might have gotten away with it too if it weren't for those meddling producers. Let's see how they fared versus STMN in Cup 1. This match started with Brawl Ball. At the end of round 1, STMN had the ball secured, but it couldn't have been any further from scoring position. STMN regrouped and ventured forth to poke, just needing to win one team fight to set up an attack on goal. Patchy brazenly took the flank, and Chino rushed forward to assist, resulting in a super clean 2v2 win for Obey, who also got ball control. Cute was left alone to defend the goal, which he did valiantly. But in the end, Obey got the point and took the lead on the back of that world-class teamwork. Obey kept the momentum going straight into round 2, scoring a goal in just 19 seconds. STMN had one chance: defend and wait for a counterattack opportunity. They found their chance around 49 seconds in. They pushed with a 3v2 advantage and started the siege. Once Czar took the flank, it was all blue team from there. Bobby and Cute won the poke battle versus Patchy and Chino, and the goal was left wide open. With 22 seconds left on the clock, Czar tied up the round. In overtime, both teams postured for the midfield. Obey wanted to keep their momentum, but STMN was determined to stop them. It all came down to Bobby and Cute versus Fade and Chino. Cute showed up with a big shot into the left corner of the goal, and as Chino went for the save, Bobby took him out. STMN clutched it up to force a decider in set 1. The deciding round was a vicious back and forth, which eventually led to overtime, where STMN had just showcased ice-cold coordination to win. Obey was having none of it this time, though, as they absolutely crushed the STMN defenses to secure the first set. STMN got settled into their rhythm in Bounty, taking the first round and keeping Obey out of the game for most of the second round. Chino eventually found an opening on the right and forced Blue to pivot, leaving their sides open to Patchy and Fade, which is all the red team needed to tie it up. STMN stole back their Blue Star advantage with just 20 seconds left on the clock, but then Fade hit a ridiculous shot to steal it right back. As the time ticked away, STMN ran out of angles to attack, and Obey stole away the round as well as all momentum in the match. With the 2-0 secured, Obey turned their sights to the finals, where they would find even more familiar faces, Tribe Gaming, whom they lost to at PAX West in a 3-1 series. Set 1 was Hot Zone, which came down to a deciding round 3. It looked like the download was complete for Obey as they took an 81-0 lead. Tribe fought back and secured a solid 50%, but the deficit proved insurmountable. Obey eventually retook control of the zone and took set 1 for themselves. The second set was Gem Grab, and once again, it came down to round 3. Both teams postured for the countdown, with neither willing to make the first mistake. Patchy rushed in, sensing an opportunity to punish Tyrant, but he went for the big brain play, drawing Patchy further back to leave Chino exposed to Zulon. Easy Livy swooped in to start the countdown, and Obey crumbled. Blue team made one final effort to halt the countdown, but it was just an impossible situation. Tribe snatched the 2-0 away from Obey and kept their dreams alive. Next up, Knockout. If Tribe gained any confidence or momentum from clenching Gem Grab, it evaporated in the first round of Knockout. Obey looked completely comfortable the entire time, just slow playing their way to a 2-0 and putting themselves one round away from taking the cup. In round 2, things were going much better for Tribe. I mean, come on, look at this. Tribe is back in it for sure. There is no way they lose this round. Well, I guess there is a way, and Patchy has just shown it to us. Aspiring Fang players, take note. At this point, Tribe had no choice but to go all out. Their obvious target was Patchy, but Obey refused to be drawn out. Instead, they slowly gave ground until they were back in their spawn. Then, Tyrant lost track of Patchy, which let him rotate left and unleash another clean super to kill Zulon, crippling Tribe's position. Left in the open, Easy Livy and Tyrant were easy prey for Obey, and they secured the first cup of the season. Fun fact, that Cup 1 semifinal bracket had the same 4 teams as our Season 1 finals bracket. What a great way to start a season. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, weren't there 2 teams that couldn't make it out to Seattle due to visa issues? Well, the answer is yes. And if you're curious whether or not they made it back for Season 2, well, check that out. Vatra and Vanguard were dominant last season, and they are back with a vengeance. Vatra couldn't quite overcome Tribe Gaming, which put Tribe in back-to-back finals. Vanguard triumphed over STMN, though, and made their way to the Cup 2 finals. The match began with Bounty, and Tribe quickly went up 1-0 in the series. Vanguard held a dominant lead in Game 2 right up until the end, when Tyrant found a pick on Betucheese, opening some nice angles as Zulon came rushing into support. With that, Tribe stole the round and set, a great way to begin a Cup finals. Set 2 was Brawl Ball, and Vanguard didn't look phased at all. Round 1 was a one-sided affair, bringing us to round 2. Vanguard put up an early goal, and then proceeded to dominate the field for the rest of the match. It was just attack after attack. I mean, if the opposing team never even sees your side of the field, they can't score, right? Tribe did eventually get the ball to the other side of the pitch, but it was straight into the waiting arms of Vanguard. With the ball safely tucked away in the corner, Vanguard just kept attacking until the clock said they had to stop. The Cup 2 finals were decided on Heist. Vanguard looked stunning in Game 1 of the set, but then Tribe made it a match in Game 2. With Tyrant attacking the flank and a nice follow-up from Corey, the Vanguard safe fell dangerously low. They managed to stabilize and put up a rock-solid defense, but they had to find an attack angle to actually win. Instead, Zulon and Corey found the overmatch in mid to put even more damage into the blue safe. With Tyrant still lurking on the left, Vanguard just left one to defend, meaning Luffy and Frixie were finally able to attack versus the staggered spawns from Tribe. The red safe was destroyed, and Vanguard took the match. It was an incredibly close match, but Vanguard was victorious, proving yet again why they deserve to be at the top. Tribe is surely looking forward to this week, where they'll get more chances at taking a cup win for themselves. In spite of losing back-to-back finals, consistency is king, and Tribes has paid off, affording them first place even without a cup win. Obey, formerly Chasmac Gaming, is right there with them, as are STMN and Vanguard. West Coast is more than capable, but they'll need to actually do the work to keep Vatra at bay while also securing top 4 for themselves at some point. Choco and Cytomins are relative unknowns, but we'll be keeping an eye out for them as the season progresses. Well, that just about does it for this episode of the Roundup. We hope you enjoyed the recap. And make sure you click all the links below for how to follow us and to stay up to date on all of the amazing Snapdragon Pro Series action. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.